The most expensive personal locator beacon on this list is not the one search and rescue teams actually recommend. That gap could cost you your life. A wrong pick here is not a wasted $40. It is a signal that never reaches a rescue helicopter. We ranked these 5 beacons on GPS acquisition speed, global coverage, two-way messaging, and real-world activation reliability. Pulling specs, owner reports, and search and rescue feedback. Out of dozens on Amazon, only these 5 are worth your time. One surprised us completely. Stick around. At $469.95, the ACR Rescue Link View is the most expensive pure PLB in this lineup. No subscription, no two-way messaging. Just an SOS signal. For nearly $500, that better be a flawless distress beacon. And for boaters, it might be. The buoyant design is a genuine advantage on water, but most buyers here are hikers, not sailors. If that's you, you're paying a premium for a feature you'll never need. The 4.5-star rating across 394 reviews is respectable, not remarkable. Our top pick does more, costs less, and fits every terrain. At $409.95, the ACR Rescue Link. $400 needs to justify every dollar against cheaper beacons that do the same core job. It's a GPS-equipped, globally covered SOS beacon with a 4.5-star rating across 160 reviews. Solid, but here's the problem. One way only. No messaging, no tracking, no confirmation your signal was received. For $409.95, that's a hard sell when two-way options exist nearby in this ranking. Hikers and hunters who want pure, simple distress signaling might accept that trade. Everyone else probably shouldn't. At $304.95, the Garmin inReach Mini 2 is the communicator everyone gravitates toward. And honestly, it earned some of that reputation. Two-way satellite messaging, GPS tracking, weather updates. It does things a one-way PLB simply cannot. Rated 4.5 stars across over 2,100 reviews, buyers genuinely like living with it. Here's the catch, though. It runs on a subscription. No active plan, no SOS. That's a structural difference from a dedicated PLB, and it matters if you're the type who forgets to renew. For someone who texts from the backcountry regularly, that subscription pays for itself. For someone who just wants a break glass emergency device, you're paying monthly for a feature you hope to never use. Best for frequent backcountry communicators who want two-way capability. Not the right tool if pure emergency reliability, zero recurring cost, and simplicity are your priorities. The next one reframes what value actually looks like at this price point. At $269, the McMurdo FastFind 220 makes a straightforward promise. Dedicated SOS, GPS, assisted rescue signaling, no subscriptions, no complexity. Solid pedigree, 4.5 stars across 28 reviews. McMurdo has been building emergency beacons for decades, so the core reliability argument is real. Where it gets uncomfortable is the value math. You're paying a $269 one-time cost for pure emergency functionality, which sounds reasonable until you stack it directly against options that deliver the same dedicated SOS capability for meaningfully less. The FastFind 220 doesn't add two-way messaging, doesn't add tracking, doesn't add anything the cheaper dedicated beacons don't already cover. It's a solid, no-nonsense PLB. But at this price, solid and no-nonsense needs to beat the competition on every metric that matters. Many owners report confidence in its build quality and simplicity. That's worth something. It's just not worth the premium over comparable beacons when the feature set doesn't expand to justify it. Buy it if McMurdo's brand trust means something specific to you. Otherwise, the ranking gets more interesting from here. And here's where the ranking earns its conclusion. The Zoleo satellite communicator at $149 does something none of the dedicated beacons below it can do. It lets you have an actual conversation. Two-way global SMS, email, check-in messaging, emergency SOS, all through your smartphone. That is a fundamentally different tool, A PLB fires a one-way distress signal, and that is it. Zoleo fires back. Rescue services can respond. Your family knows you are okay. That loop matters. Over 3,100 owners have rated it 4.6 out of 5, which for a device people stake their lives on is not a small signal. The honest limitation: it requires a subscription plan to function. Budget accordingly. But if you want one device that handles daily backcountry communication and emergency SOS globally, Zoleo is the clear best overall pick. It earns the top spot not on spec sheets alone, but because it solves more of the real problem. So here is the honest tier breakdown. The two ACR beacons are pure SOS tools. No subscription, no messaging. That is their ceiling. McMurdo. FastFind 220 sits in the same lane. Reliable, limited. The inReach Mini 2 adds two-way communication but costs more per month than most people expect. Zoleo does everything the others do, plus real messaging at the lowest subscription price in the category. At every tier, the gap is communication. Zoleo wins it. Bottom line, the rescue links are solid rescue tools. FastFind 220 is reliable, but neither talks back. The inReach Mini 2 is excellent until the subscription bill arrives. Zoleo gives you two-way communication at the lowest ongoing cost in this category. That gap is real money, every single month. Links are in the description. All 5 links are in the description. Subscribe if you want the next one. Drop your go-to emergency gear in the comments.